What's good, y'all? It's your boy D-Thing here, tuned in from the Sofa Podcast.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Chris, bringing you the calm vibe.
And it's Elazar, bringing you nothing but the realness.
I like that. It's good, y'all. It feels good to be here right now, man.
Feel real good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody blessed. Feels good.
Yes, sir. Yo, so D, you know what we talking about today?
Yes, sir. Let's get right into it.
So today's topic is, can somebody respect you and not truly love you? Or can somebody truly love you and not respect you? What y'all think? How y'all feel?
Honestly, I feel like it goes both ways. The reason why I say that is because someone can actually really respect you and not love you. And then you put it to another aspect of somebody actually loving you and not respect you. It really goes both ways. Me personally, I think respect is an ultimate high for me. You know, I'd rather be respected. Because if you respect me, then comes the love. You know what I'm saying? So respect me and love me at the same time. I don't want people out here just doing all types of stuff behind my back, because you truly never know what somebody's really doing behind your back.
Never know their true intentions.
It's true. You never know what somebody actually is doing behind your back.
Yeah, and I want to piggyback off of what D-Thing said, because I'd rather respect than love, for the simple fact that a lot of people, anybody could say that they love you, and all reality just be doing you dirty. And respect comes first, because it's just like levels to everything with life, with respect. And respect takes you a long way, so.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's your take on it, Chris?
I feel like some people might hate me for this, but I feel like love is a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Respect is an action.
I like that.
So if you respect somebody, you're not going to take it to certain limits. You're not going to take it to certain distances. You know what I mean? And coming from me, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't always been perfect. I done went some distances that I can't even come back from, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
Man, listen, I agree with you on that too, because not everybody is perfect. There's nobody that's perfect in this world. You know what I'm saying? Everybody make mistakes, but it's good when you learn from your mistakes. When you constantly repeating yourself over and over the same mistakes, it's like, are you actually growing as a person? You know what I'm saying? Some people don't grow as a person. They'd rather sit here and keep making the same mistakes, keep giving you the same excuses, keep procrastinating. You need to grow as an individual. I done did some things in relationships too that it was crazy.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? I don't big up myself, but I don't want to use the excuse like I was young, I want to have fun. But at those times, I was young and I do want to have fun. My thing is, personally, I feel like as I got older, I grew. You know, especially when I had my child. You know, when I had my firstborn, he made me become somebody that was different. You know, I started seeing the values of life. I started looking at the life with different aspects. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to apologize for the things that I've done in my life, to the people that I did cause and hurt. You know, it starts with the nigga. I do want to apologize, take accountability for that. But yeah, that's how I feel.
You always got to be willing to take accountability.
Yeah, it's always room for growth. There's always room for taking accountability. There's nothing wrong with
I also, send out an apology. You know what I mean? From the bottom of my heart. I've never had no ill intent towards anybody. But being that, like, certain people go through certain traumas in life, you know what I mean?
That's true.
It changes your perspective, and it changes your views on a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but at the same time, like, when you think about it realistically, so when you go through certain shit and you see certain shit and you try to, I guess, like, implement it some sort of way into your own life.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's not the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not right, but you learn, like you said, learn life lessons, bro. So you just got to learn, grow, definitely learn from your mistakes.
True.
And just make sure, like, for the next time around, you just don't make the same mistakes.
And life is really all about maturity. Like you said, you don't want to say, oh, I was young and stuff like that. But if we think about it from being a teenager, really early 20s, middle 20s, and probably 30s and stuff like that, it's different levels of everything. You know, when you're young, and you don't really see things as clear. In your early 20s, you don't see nothing. You're just trying to have a good time, whether you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And a lot of mistakes is being made. But life is about mistakes, and life is about just realizing what's going on. Because as we get older, you got to think about it as where I want to see myself. Okay, I could have 1,000 girls, I could have 1,000 niggas, but where do I see myself, and who do I see myself with? A lot of people have messed up a lot of relationships with a lot of people, and it's just like, that was the one. And sometimes when you got the one, they don't come back. Just because you made that forced move and you thought that maybe you was that nigga or you was that girl, I'd rather respect, because when you respect me, I respect you, and it just goes both ways. And with love and feelings, feelings comes and go. I could see a guy and I'm in a relationship and I'm like, all right, I'm really digging the guy that I'm with, but another guy may come by and he's probably showing me more than a guy that I'm really with. but it's all about feelings, but it's all about maturity, it's all about talking and expressing yourself. You just gotta pay attention to what you're doing in life.
That's true.
I had a question for y'all. Being that you still in your 20s, do you feel like I'm not trying to single you out, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But just the general question, do you feel like in your 20s is meant for like experiencing and experimenting when it comes, especially when it comes to like certain things like love?
Nah, don't, not too much on me, but it's about experiencing, but I feel like what a lot of people don't do, because I know I didn't do it too much, a lot of people don't date to see what they like, to see what they don't like, to see, it's different levels to everything, so to see what they...
To see what actually interests them.
And what they should be accepting, what they should not be accepting. And that's with friendships, lovers, cousins, whoever. I feel like we supposed to be dating. We supposed to have been dating since when we was in our teens and early 20s to see what, okay, I don't like this. I don't like the tone of your voice. So being that I don't like the tone of your voice and you're not really listening to me and communication is key and you're still not listening and we like probably 2 years in, maybe we need to take a little break or take a little step back to just realize each other and just realize what is more important.
I got to give and take. I feel like it starts within the parents.
That's a fact.
It starts within the parents because at the end of the day, we all want our parents to have a one household.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now we see our parents married for this many years. Oh, okay. That's setting the ultimate goal for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's setting the bar.
My mom and dad's been married for this many years. Oh, that's what true love look like.
Yeah.
It's always going to be ups and downs in a relationship, but you can also see what true love really is.
And everybody ain't ready for the ups and downs. They just ready for the glory, the little nice vacations, what look good and sweet. Ain't nobody really ready for the down.
Like
everybody want that social media relationship.
Yeah.
And that's another thing right there. That's something to also talk about. Social media actually made it really cool to not be yourself. You know what I'm saying? It made it cool for you not to be yourself. It's okay to be yourself. You don't got to be like your celebrity that you see, your favorite artist, your favorite rapper. Be yourself. And it starts within yourself. That's more than what I can say. Like I said, I give and take. It starts within the parents. As far as like
that's
what true love can be, honestly, really is.
I think parents need to take away social media, especially for their younger kids.
In this generation in society, yes. Because they get caught up on a lot of stuff. So what they see on social media, they feel like that's cool to adapt to. And it's not cool to adapt to.
Not at all.
The generation that we're seeing now is different from our generation. Because we grew up, right? All right, we might be having little crushes and stuff like that, but we honestly was outside.
Yeah, we was playing.
We was outside playing. We was playing.
In order to have a crush on somebody, you have to go outside, go down the block.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
even cool. If it was your neighbor.
That's a fact. It was cool at that time back in the days where I didn't care to be on my phone. I had a phone, but I didn't care to be on my phone.
Nope.
I cared about
that
playing with my friends.
That was not even a thing. That was not even a thing being on your phone.
You have to go to the park. You have to go to the mall, the movies. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, you
had this generation's outside isn't like for me. I'm an old school. I got an old soul.
Me too.
So for this generation's outside is not what I feel like my generation, which is before, is outside. You know what I mean? Because I used to be on the playground. I used to be outside at the parks and stuff. And that's how I found out, you know what I mean? Like, okay, there's girls outside. But there's girls everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So in order to have a crush on somebody, you have to be outside. You have to go to where it was live. Like I said, the parks, the movies. And
the
like that, even if you went to a house party, you know what I'm saying? Like you see girls that you hadn't seen before in your neighborhood.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, damn, I want to pick that one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You start picking and choosing out the crowd and shit. Like, bro.
And that's what I said about, that goes into dating too. It's so many different people. Everybody look different, look a little good, but just see what you like. And set boundaries with yourself and set boundaries with people too.
Everybody's definition of dating is kind of weird this generation.
Yeah.
It's different, very different.
Because I feel like, a lot of people don't set boundaries for themselves. And a lot of people don't know their worth. And I'm going to sit here and say this, right? I'll give my opinion on this. I was a guy that felt like I didn't know my worth. I let a lot of things happen. I felt like I let somebody show me 29 times who they really was instead of letting them see who they really was the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't set boundaries for myself. I felt like I didn't know my worth. It's like I knew my worth, but I didn't know my worth. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather give myself the props and now figuring things out for myself as far as like with dating. I am in a current relationship now. And it's I learned to set boundaries for myself to know my worth and not let a person dictate my moves and not let a person show me 29, 30 times who they really are. If I see it the first time, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Why? Because I don't want to deal with that. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to be somebody out there for you. But how do you know if that person is out there for you either? Yeah. And that's why, when it comes back down to dating, it's scared to date. Because you, like I said, like we all said before, you truly never know what a person is really up to. You never know what a person really, if they really into you. Everybody want to do them. Everybody want to have fun. Everybody want to do what they want to do.
Listen, everybody needs to just be real. I'm being real from the first day. The first day you see me, ask me my name, whatever. I'm being real, whether I talk to somebody, whether I don't. And that's really what it needs to be. Just be real. And people say that they want the realness, but they really can't handle it, and maybe they're not used to it.
But that's what it goes back down to, as what we also said. Social media made it cool for you not to be yourself.
Social media also gave us a new meaning to being independent.
Yeah.
Today's generation of independence is I got it, you know what I mean? Like it's just me. Like I don't care what you got going on. Like if you not matching my energy, I'm out. But it's just like when it comes to relationships, it's a team thing. You know what I'm saying? It takes two to tango. That's the whole saying, right?
Yes,
it takes two to tango.
It does.
But if we not working together and you just working on you for you, but you're not working on you for us, you know what I'm saying? Communicating that, like it tends to fuck shit up. It tends to ruin like really good things. Things that have so much potential to grow into something that could possibly be amazing. You know what I mean?
It does. I feel like in relationships, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the communication is not there. Because when you communicate with your significant other, it shows the value that you're willing to go. So I was like, all right, if you have communication with your significant other, right? And whether you don't want a lot of things to be misunderstood.
Everybody wants to be heard.
Yeah, everybody. And that's why this platform is for that. Because a lot of people tend to not feel like they're being heard. I want people to come on this platform and feel heard.
You say that you're listening, but you're not really hearing me.
And also, right, I always tell people too, it's a difference between listening and hearing.
Yeah.
You know why I say that? Because
I
can listen to what you're saying, but am I actually really hearing what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or I can hear what you're saying, but not listen at the same time.
Are you really taking the time out to appreciate my feelings and what I'm saying?
I'd rather listen to somebody. I don't want to just hear you, because 9 times out of 10, when a person is hearing you, this is how it goes. When they're having a conversation and they just hearing you, you can say this and this and that.
They get what they want.
They give response like, "Oh, that's crazy." Instead of
that seems so wild to me. Like,
because
that's mad disrespectful.
That's crazy. That means they just hearing you. Now, when a person is listening to you, they get into topics with you. Oh, what made you feel that way? Why do you feel that way? That means they're actually taking the time to listen to what you're saying and give feedback to understand what you're actually saying.
Communication and comprehension.
It goes a long way. Communication goes a long way, and a lot of people make it so hard to make it seem like communication is not key when it really is in a relationship.
And it's not hard either, but take it from me, son. Communication to me, like it was very minimal. You know what I'm saying? I was so used to being like quiet and like everything. Because as a man, and like when you think about it, as a man, when you try to define what a man is, it's, you know what I'm saying, we're technically independent to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're not allowed to show too much.
We're in this generation, we're not allowed to, because like once we start showing vulnerability, it's kind of like let me not say all women, because all women are not like that, but some women, they try to take advantage of that, and they try to throw that back at you,
and they label it as being feminine.
Or you sassy.
Or toxic.
Or toxic.
Like what?
But let's not get it misconstrued.
Okay.
A lot of them are. I love communication. Communication is key. And I don't really like if you're not giving me too much feedback. Maybe you're not doing that because maybe you're not a talkative person.Maybe that's not you, but it goes both ways. You gotta talk. You gotta hear, you gotta listen, so we both know what's going on. So I don't think that you're not listening to me. So I don't think that you're just disrespecting me and you didn't hear nothing that I said, and time has wasted.
So do you feel like more men should be open?
Yes, they should. Who cares about what these girls are saying or whatever the percentage of girls or women is saying about sassy? Express yourself. We want that.
Yeah.
We most definitely want that. That's just being human.
It is. It's actually being human.
I respect it.
I do respect that. So let's get into this other topic, right? How do you know enough is enough in a relationship?
Oh, I'm big on seeing my red flags right then and there. I'm big on seeing it. I don't have time because we are young. Even your 20s or your 30s, you're still young. I don't have the time. Time is not giving back to me. I'm sorry. Whatever I'm hearing you talk and don't make no sense, I have to go. because there is somebody really out there for me and you, but maybe we just don't need to be together because, no. I'm big on red flags. I see them. I don't think it's cute to be toxic. I don't think none of that's cute. So, yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie, D. I ain't gonna hold you. Not literally, but I'm colorblind, bro. I'm colorblind. The red flags for me, they look green, they look pink, they look yellow.
It's always like that too, though. It's always like that. It is.
I don't have time to waste.
Listen, if I sit here, right, and we, you know what I'm saying, I date somebody for a long time. Don't get me wrong, like, obviously the honeymoon phase is a real thing.
Yeah,
let's talk about it. Like, the honeymoon phase is definitely a real thing. But at the same time, like, after the honeymoon phase is over, it's kind of like shit. When shit gets real, yeah. And that's the part that people, like, that's what they're not prepared for. We're not ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes so fast. You think, like, every day you just wait, like, you wake up, you got this person you talk to, call them FaceTime, whatever, you see them,
texting them, sending little
dates
little
and
messages.
everything. But it's like, once that phase is over, and like we talking about real things, like possibly, you know what I'm saying, moving in, getting married.
When do you start that then? Because first day, I'm asking a lot of questions just to see where your mind is at, because a lot of people's mind is not there, even though they're grown, they're older.
Being that I'm only like a couple years older, I've come to a point where I'm not trying to figure out what your favorite color is. I'm not trying to figure out the minuscule things about you. I'm trying to figure out, like, the major things.
Yeah,
like,
I'm trying to pick
how
your
do you
brain.
feel about kids? How do you feel about marriage? Like, are we getting a house eventually? You know what I'm saying? But that comes with time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And obviously, like you said, everything's not picture perfect.
It's not.
Yeah, we're gonna have our disagreements. We're gonna let me not say argue, because argue is I feel like it's a very negative term. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have disagreements.
Yeah.
We're gonna have like small little debates, but that doesn't mean we can't come together. You know what I mean?
agree.
For the long run, for the long term, we can't come together. And you know what I'm saying? Like, come to some kind of conclusion together.
The only reason why I said, when do you ask these things, not the small talk, like, what's your favorite color, what you like to go out to eat. The only reason why I ask that, because some people, you approach a girl and stuff like that, you already know what you're approaching her for. Whether it's to be in a relationship or whether it's just to have a good time. And you can know that. That's why you need to ask the right questions right then and there, maybe a couple days. Wait, I don't know how you map it out, but ask those questions, because a lot of these guys are just trying to have fun and ain't nobody have time for that.
But I could also say this too. Even when you ask those questions, right, they might not even have the answer to all of those questions right then and there.
Nope.
They might not have it. So like he said, like what Chris said, that happens with over time, because you could ask 1,000 questions right then and there. They're not going to have 1,000 answers for you right then and there.
Not right then and there, but you get what I'm saying.
I definitely get where you're coming from. I really do agree with you where you're coming from, because your inputs are also, like, they're actually good. You know what I'm saying? Because everything starts with the mindset. You know, before I used to date or whatever, I never looked at it as the mindset. I always used to look at, oh, she's pretty, she looks good, we look good together. But as I grew and got older, I looked at it like, oh no, I need to see where your mindset is at. I need to see
the mental first.
Yeah, I need to see what you think about the future, not just right now, but what you think about the future.
Can you even speak?
Yeah, can you speak fluent?
Can you hold a conversation?
Is your conversation intellectual?
You want to know what the crazy thing is? I'm sorry to cut you off, D, but you want to know what the crazy thing is that when we look at dating nowadays, right? We don't end up going long term with the people we actually sit down, like we sit down and take the time to get to know.
That's a good one.
Wait, hold on, wait for it, right? But we end up being with the person we saw like the least amount of interest in. You know what I mean?
Or the person that we just don't supposed to be with at all.
Yeah, but those are the people that we miss the red flags for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but you know why, right? Why is the dating like that?
Wow.
Because everybody's opening their phones and on Instagram just liking pictures. Nobody knows how to talk.
Social media.
Nobody knows how to approach a female. How you doing? X, Y, and Z. Nobody knows how to do those things. They like pictures and they DMing you. Yeah. They seeing if you got a nice body and And
it goes back to what we were saying before. Social media made it cool for you not to be yourself. I don't want to sit here and speak for, not all guys and not all women are the same. There are actually good women out there and actually good men out there. I'm going to put it on both sides. Women do fumble good men.
Oh, yes.
Men do fumble good women.
This happened.
It happens. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you don't know when you got a good person in your hand. Because
Until
you're so blind by a lot of other stuff. That you don't see what a person is really trying to do for you in your life. I feel like I don't have my fun and share with multiple women. but you also know when it's time for you to settle down and lock in with that one good woman.
But do you really know? And I'm not saying
sometimes you do. I'm not. I'm sorry to
For-
cut you off, but
yeah.
like sometimes you
actually
do. Sometimes you do.
You do. Because
And as a man, like from experience, like I've come to that point. You know what I'm saying? Where I wanted to. I already knew who it was that I wanted to be with. You know what I mean? I've been to that point.
that's the truth.
But
That's the truth.
one thing I will say is that bad women or the wrong woman can fuck up the right man.
and
Yes,
it's the
sir.
same for a bad man dealing with a good woman.
It works both ways.
It
Definitely, for
definitely
sure.
goes both ways. It's 50-50.
Yes.
It goes both ways.
And as far as the men and women out there, we need to stop that. For
We
real.
do. We need to stop that.
You need to reflect, look in.
Because the trauma is like, people want to heal within.
Yeah.
Trauma makes, that's why, dating is so hard right now. Because they past experiences. Because now they dealt with something that's bad, they feel like everybody's bad. They feel like,
Right.
nah, I don't want to deal with this person. Or they look at it like, oh, nah, I dealt with that type of sign. Or I want to deal with another Taurus. I don't want to deal with another Aries. But everybody is different.
Hear
I'm
that a
honestly
lot.
confused about the whole the
Zodiac
sign, like the whole zodiac sign thing. Like I know it's partially true, but it's like I
feel like it's 50-50.
I just don't understand the full concept behind it.
I'm going to tell you this. My older brother told me, it's not generally the sign, it's the person. He said because 9 times out of 10 people think it's the sign. No, that's just the person showing you who they really are. It's not the sign. It's zodiac sign is the sign. I'm Aquarius. You might be a Taurus. You might be a
I'm
Libra.
a Gemini. Everybody says I'm two-faced.
I'm a Gemini too.
You know what I'm
You say
saying?
you Gemini too?
Yeah, when your birthday?
June 16th.
June
Oh,
17th.
I like that because you know why? We all air signs up here.
It was meant to be.
We all air signs up here.
And sometimes people hide their face best. Maybe this person was already this way, but you can know somebody for a very long time. You can know them for years, since maybe I was in high school. And this person always been this way. And this person always been this way because of who they looked up to. Maybe their mother and their father. They didn't have a good representation. And now y'all in a relationship. So they showing you eventually, maybe you even have a child with this person. Y'all married. One of the two. And marriage and having a child is very serious. They showing you who they really are. And this maybe ain't good, but it's just time for you to wake up before you get too deep in marriage, and having a baby is deep.
So we can all agree we know when enough is enough in a relationship.
I was literally about to ask. I was about to be like, I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Because I know for myself, I've definitely been through it. Have y'all ever been in a relationship that wasn't meant to go that far? And if so, when did you know that enough of that person was enough?
I mean, I've been clocked out. The person already knew it, and nothing was even going on. Like, he wasn't even doing nothing wrong. And that's how you know it's time to go, because you're not even doing anything.
So
I'm not even catching you doing anything. But whatever you was doing took a toll, whether it was a year, a month, whatever the time was. It took a toll, and now it's time for me to go. And maybe it was one thing, maybe it was two things, but I'm really on how somebody makes me feel, how somebody treats me. And once you do something that I don't like, and it has to do with respect, because I know I would not do that to you. I'm the type of person that I would not treat you that type of way, because if I'm treating you that type of way, I got to think about myself. If you sad, that makes me sad. Everybody just got to see when their time is to go. And God will show you.
Yeah.
Because you feel like ain't nothing going right. No positivity. You need that good job. You need whatever is good that you praying for ain't coming because you got that bad person next to you.
people be blessing block, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, definitely. But me personally, I feel like enough is enough in a relationship. I don't want to keep saying it goes back to the point where we already talked about, but it also goes to the point like, if I feel like I'm not being heard in my relationship, that's enough for me. Because I shouldn't have to sit here and keep telling you about the same exact things. That makes me feel a certain way. That means you don't have, like we talked about before, that means you don't have no respect for me.
So when you started feeling like that? 2 questions. When did you start feeling like that? And I've been in a relationship, the person was acting like a 10 in my book, and maybe in every girl's book. They was even talking, having a good communication, but they was a liar. So if you're showing all of these things, this is what I'm trying to ask you. You're showing all of these things, this form of a 10 for a woman, this form of a 10 for a man, but they are lacking because they're a liar and they're cheating. How do you see, like, what do you see?
Like
I mean,
this, right?
I've lied and I've cheated. So
I
mean,
have
know
to.
what?
I've lied and listen.
It's not the woman, it's you.
It was definitely me.
It was-
and
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to cut you off, D, but coming from my experience, what I was brought up on, and what I've seen growing up, like I told you in the beginning, like I thought that was okay for me to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being that, and I'm not trying to say too much, but like I grew up without a father, so
Okay.
learning how
Me
to
too.
be.
I could agree with that one.
So learn it So when I say what I was about to say next, I'm pretty sure you can agree too. So being that kids as men who basically kind of raise themselves, like don't get me wrong, like my grandmother raised me, but not
But you
having
still need a figure of what a man is supposed to do, what a man not supposed to do, how a man's supposed to treat a woman. That's what you're saying.
As a kid, you know what I'm saying. Growing up, like I didn't know what a man was supposed to do and how a man was supposed to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying. So for me, having to learn all that shit by myself, it kind of fucked me up a little bit because it's like when I tried to get into the dating scene and it was just like, and I did, it was just kind of just like in the beginning, I was just like, okay, one girl, you know what I'm saying. That's fine. I'm good with that. But as I grew older, I started seeing all the other kids. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a little girlfriend on the side. I'm like, okay, so what's that about? Like, how do you go about? You know what I'm saying? I'm over here thinking, yo, these girls be knowing each other, and I'm just like, nah, but in reality, it's not like that. So having to teach yourself a lot of the things that your father or your male figure was supposed to teach you, I didn't get that.
Or maybe you was just supposed to see that from your mother and your father together.
My mom,
well, that's true too.
They wasn't together.
No, like, no, not that.
Not to laugh at the situation, bro. Not
that. It's just like
I laugh about it today, bro. Don't even get me wrong. Like I've learned my lesson through trials and tribulations. Don't get me wrong. I've definitely learned my lesson.
I do agree with everything that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I also grew up without a father. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a lot of structure, but I can't sit here and say that. You know why? Because my mom was my mother and my father. Shout out to my mom. I love you, Mom. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. You know, but my mom was my mother and my father. You know what I'm saying? She showed me a lot of things, what not to do, how to treat a lady, you know, what you should do as a man. You know what I'm saying? So she played that father role too. And that's why I always give my mom so much praise. Because it's not just me, it's 8 of us. You know, I have 5 sisters and 2 brothers, you know, and she did her damn thing raising all 8 of us. You know what I'm saying? That woman has so much structure, and I really appreciate her every day for it. We might not see eye to eye sometimes, but I appreciate my mother for being the mother that she is.
That comes with family, bro.
It comes with family. Yeah. You always going to have ups and downs with family, but at the end of the day, your mother, you only have one of those. Cherish your mother. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't get to cherish their mother because they're not here anymore. A lot of people never got to see their mother because they're not here anymore. But my mom is still here, and I blessed her. And I'm blessed to still have my mom. But back to what we were saying, the structure, you know, my mom, like I said, she played the role of my mother and my father. So she, at times, like I said, I had my fun to share with women. But she also told me what was wrong and what not to do. You know, she raised me to be a man. That's the man I am today. I'm a father. I'm a great father at that. So me not growing up with my father showed me that, no, I can be a great father.
Yeah, you changed the cycle.
You know, I'm going to show my kids what it is to be a great father, to be in their lives, to have a happy life. You know what I'm saying? To show them what right from wrong, what not to do. Like my son, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to show him what's wrong. Don't treat a woman that way. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a conversation. It's okay to have feelings. Because we all, men and females, we have feelings.
We're human.
The best
it's okay. And fellas, I want y'all to also know this. It's okay to cry. Don't hold back those tears. It's okay to cry. It's a way of expressing yourself. It's a way of letting things out. It's okay to cry. And I'm going to teach my son that. It's okay to cry. You don't have to feel like you got to hold that in.
It doesn't make you less of a man.
It does not make you less of a man. It's okay to cry. Let it out. We don't want to hold, because what people do is they bottle it up. It's a lot of anger. We all know it's a lot of trauma within that. That's why a lot of people don't feel like they are being hurt.
And now that anger, sorry to cut you off, now that anger is going towards somebody that don't have nothing to do with what was going on with you.
Yeah. So I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate my mom for being the woman that she is, for showing me from right from wrong, and being there for me to let me know that I am messing up. That I am, as a man, I did make mistakes. So I can grow from those mistakes. But I appreciate my mom.
Everything that you said was good. It was on key. It's really about the person.
Yes.
Their upbringing.
Yes.
Whether they have a mother, father.
Yes.
It's just really about the person. And whether they're going to listen or not and pay attention. When them red flags are showing.
I ain't pay attention enough.
I didn't either. I didn't pay attention
But that was good for y'all, because maybe y'all at this age now that y'all can see that, all right, you could look back and say, you know what, I did do this. I did do that wrong. I did do this right. But I'm a better person now.
Yeah.
Nah, you definitely right. Because
that's true.
You know, like I said, through my experience, through, you know, trials and tribulations, rights and wrongs, I've definitely learned, like I said, I definitely learned my lesson.
And that's what it's all about.
It's okay to want to be a better man, bro. It's definitely okay.
And it's,
you know,
another thing, fellas, it's okay to love your woman. Don't let nobody dictate you on how you move with loving your woman. It's okay to love your woman. It's okay to please your woman. It's okay for a lot of things. Don't let social media dictate your move. Nope. Be yourself.
Social media is terrible, bro. I hate it.
It really is.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, son. Like, listen, this is exactly why I be taking so many social media breaks. Because once I see the algorithm, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Once it starts annoying me, it gets to a point where it's just like, bro, why am I seeing the same dumb shit every day, bro? So I just I be needing my social media breaks, bro. I'm about to take another one in like another week or so. Bro,
it's also okay to detach from the world.
That's another thing, bro.
It's okay to detach. You know what I'm saying? We be so glued on our phones. Don't get me wrong. I be glued on my phone.
We need to detach.
I definitely be glued on my phone.
We need to detach from the technological world, if I'm saying it correctly. The technological world. You know what I'm saying? We need to go back to going outside and, you know what I'm saying, like without your phone though. Bro, I remember I grew when I was growing up, son, I used to go outside without my phone, bro.
Yeah. Sometimes I used to leave my phone behind too. Like, you know, cause I'm going outside to have fun. I don't care about what's going on my phone. I'm going outside to
like
have
how you be
fun.
outside and you be right here.
Yeah,
like it's
that's me now. I'm not gonna lie. You know, my lady be like, yo, babe, get off your phone. You so glued to your phone. And I gotta stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, that's another thing right there too. That's a red flag for myself. Because like I said, you don't want to have somebody constantly telling you something over and over. Now that pushes them away.
Yeah.
You know, now she constantly got to keep telling me, babe, put your phone there. You're on your phone too much. Now we watching a movie and I'm sitting here on my phone. It starts to question, what are you doing on your phone so much? Who has your attention that I don't have your attention?
Who or what has your attention?
Yes. So now it's
that
like,
you're not like here present with me and I'm sitting right next to you. You know what I mean?
So now, me personally, like I said, I take accountability. Yes, I'm going to start putting my phone down when we are just having a one-on-one time.
I think, honestly speaking, I think that's the only thing that I took from like watching my not even my grandmother and my grandpa. Mm-hmm. Like anytime they was like together, no phones was around. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely took that because like if I'm with somebody and we, you know what I'm saying, I'm giving you my full attention and I'm present in the moment. My phone not even on, bro. Yeah, my phone over there in the corner somewhere, probably charging.
And I need to take your advice, man. I need to start putting my phone down.
Listen,
and just
bro.
Forgetting my phone is there when people call me and I answer it. Sometimes I don't even answer my phone.
Listen, the pending. I'm not gonna sit here and say don't use your phone at all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody texts you and the shit just pop up, cool. You could
it's cool to briefly look at it and be like, all right, I'll get back to you later.
Don't sit there and like fully. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's not important, don't sit there and engage with something. Like, bro, I'm right here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Be present with me right here. Be watching a movie or something. You know what I mean?
And that's why I said I take accountability. So when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with saying, yo, you know what? I was wrong, babe. You know, I'm next time, you know what? My phone's going to be over there.
That's another thing. Accountability is a motherfucker.
It is.
Trying to take that shit.
But you have to take accountability because if you don't take accountability, it's looking like almost as if I can keep doing this.
Yeah.
I can keep saying here doing the same thing over and over and not take accountability for it.
It's all like boom, green light. I can do it all the time.
But it looks like you're selfish, like you don't care.
Mm-hmm. And taking accountability is actually good because you're paying attention, whether somebody told you something that you're doing or whether you just notice, okay, I am doing this a little bit too much or I shouldn't be doing that. Yeah. It just makes the situation better for you too because that just shows maturity.
But you know, like I said, you know, with this platform, I just want this platform to be where people could come up here and connect with us. They could feel at home and just be heard. Because as much as they want to hear us, I want to hear about them. You know, so this is why I made it as far as like, the Sofa Podcast. They can come kick it with us, show some good hospitality, have real conversations, and leave out of here with a good laugh. Because you never know what a person is dealing with.
Yeah.
You never know. Some people might smile, but they're actually dealing with stuff behind closed doors. Mm-hmm. So this platform is for a platform for them to come up here, have a good time, dive deep, catch a good laugh. That's what this is about.
Another thing I want to say is I like the fact that, obviously we want to make people feel comfortable.
Yes.
Another thing that I want to say is that, we 3 different people. Yeah. So we 3 different minds, 3 different mindsets. Yeah. We all had different opinions, you know what I'm saying? But even though we do agree on certain things, other things we might not. Yeah. So that gives the people the opportunity to come on here, watch us, and you know what I'm saying?
And like, listen.
Somebody they listen to us, but somebody might agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
or what I'm saying. But everybody has their own opinion, and it makes people feel comfortable to come on here and be able to feel like, okay, somebody thinks like me, and somebody feels the way I
can agree on what Chris is saying. I can agree on what.
And it's like they come up here on this platform. I want it to be like as almost as a therapy session.
Yeah.
So let them just talk and let us
kick it back.
Yeah,
Relax.
talk. Like it's like a therapy session.
Let's see what's going on
That's
with
why
you.
I feel like most podcasts are therapy sessions because at the end of the day, like I said, we've all talked and agreed on this. A lot of people don't feel like they're being heard enough or at all.
Kick your feet up.
You know what I'm saying? Come kick it with us.
Kick your feet up, roll up.
Yeah, it's all love here. You know, it's all
Chill.
love.
Close your eyes and just talk.
Yeah.
We're gonna listen.
We
Calm
gonna
vibes,
listen.
calm vibes.
You know what I'm saying? Calm vibes, good conversations, good laughs. Come kick it with us on the Sofa Podcast.
And good people.
And good energy, yes,
Yes,
and
sir.
good people.
It's your boy Chris, man.
It's your girl Ella Dom.
It's your boy D Thing. On the next time with the Sofa Podcast. Stay
Yes, sir.
tuned.